All right, welcome back. In this session, I'll teach you how to set up the transformer in PEmag. So first what I do is I go to ANSYS EM Suite 2022 R1. I click on PEmag. Just close it. Maybe these icons are pretty small. So what I would do is I'd just do File, New. This is the default screen of how the PEmag looks like. The main aim of PEmag is to set up the transformer in this screen and then transfer it to the Maxwell. Maxwell is nothing but part of the electronics desktop. So you can think of ANSYS electronics desktop as Maxwell. So I'm designing it in PEmag because I have the cores, windings, everything which I can use to set it up and then transfer it into Maxwell. What PE Expert does is I'll quickly show you. Although we won't be using it because it's already set up. We can't do many changes. That's what I feel like. So you can select like flyback converter, waveform based or converter based. You can click here. You can just input your parameters like 170. I can do that. I can just set up the frequency. It gives default. You can run it. It gives you the primary side peak current. I somehow don't like it because it's all pre-built. It selects the wire gauge for the primary and secondary automatically, and you can't really edit it if you want to go with lids. I didn't feel like it's really something you can user friendly. You can't do many changes. All you do is just go to modular and start the design process after you have selected different things in here. So this is the PE Expert. I won't be going into this in detail because I personally didn't feel that it was really helpful for me. So I'm currently in the PEmag. What I would do is I did file new and it opened up this one. As you see on wherever my cursor is, there is a tab called cores. There is tab for bobbins. I click on windings. I click on wires and insulators and core material. So what the beauty of PEmag is, it gives you several cores. You can just select, drag and drop. So how would I set it up? What were our design challenge? This is like 100 watt. These are our input voltages, and we are selecting EER28 core. So I go back to PEmag. What I would do is I would click over here under cores. So I would look for EER28. I already know where this would exist. You can select any of these: Ferox cubes, EPCOS, TDK. It's up to you. I go to EE core. It's not in here. It should be in EFD. No, it's not in here. ETD. So I see under TDK, under ETD course, I see EER28. So I just click it. It gives all the specifications over here: core type, window height, window width, everything. All I do is I just click on it, drag and drop under component library. So you have EER28. It comes up like this. That's all under course. Now go to bobbins tab. What do? Go to TDK, ETD. Under ETD, you see EER28. It would select the appropriate bobbin. Just drag and drop under component library. Now you have this blue color bobbin. So if you see the cursor, you see a magnifying lens. On the right it's plus, on the left it's negative. So all you do is, in order to zoom into it, you would just right click on your mouse. So it just keeps on increasing. I'm just double clicking my mouse. So it tries to zoom in. Now I left click, so it starts to minimize it. Now course is done, bobbin is done. Now windings, you have to set it up. So our primary winding has 50 turns. I want to select 4 strands of AWG29. How would I do that? Under windings, what I would do is I would just click on the default winding setup. I would just drag and drop under component library. On this screen, you see the default winding setup, which comes up like this. What you have to do is double click on default winding setup. Concentric is something which follows this. I would just put the wires from top to bottom, so they are concentric. Or you can do top down, which is like horizontal or vertical. That's all it means. C and T is concentric. Top down is either you put it horizontally or vertically. That's it. Number of pins is like, you can consider it as a bobbin pin. I know how many to set up, 8 by 12. So number of pins, I do 8. That means whatever you see over here, 1 and 2, they would be increased to 8. And I would put this as 10, which is nothing but it just keeps increasing. You will see now. I do apply, OK. Now if I click on this one, it shows it as an insulator. I have to change it to winding. So under windings, winding has been set up. So what I would do is, let's do this. I do interleaving, which is half primary, secondary to half primary. So usually in a flyback from primary to secondary, there is a creepage and clearance distance requirement. Creepage is through the PCB, clearance is through the air. So any flyback transformer, any power supply which is plugged into the AC mains need to handle at least like 3 kV high pot, that's what it's called, or dielectric breakdown, you can say. So in order to achieve from primary to secondary 3000, all you have to do is put number of tapes, layers of tape. It can be, the tape is like a safety rated tape, which is which can handle like 3000 volts or 4000 volts or 5000 volts DC, or it can handle 3000 volts AC. So what you do is go back over here. I would set this one up as a winding. So you see on the top menu over here, I put my cursor over there, it says add connection, remove connection, copy selected layers. So there are several things. What I would do is I would go over here, clockwise monofiller. I click on that. I first highlight this one, then I click over here. So it changed it as a winding. What's the next step? So between half primary and the secondary, I need to put 3 layers of tape for safety. Most of the practical transformer will have 3 layers of tape to handle between primary and secondary, 3000 volts AC RMS or 4000 volts DC or 5000 volts. In order to handle that, you just isolate the primary and secondary with 3 layers of tape. So I want to change this as tape. So I'll just leave this 1, 2 and 3 layers. Then what I would do is I would change this one as a secondary. So again, I go over here, click on monofilar. Then I want to put 2 layers